Hello everybody, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. 456 puzzles solved. Nice. Good round number, 456. We've got two new mechanics to choose from by the looks of things. Non-boxy. No regions are rectangular. Interesting. And boxy. All regions are rectangular. Precision 3. Let's start here then, shall we? So that has to start there because it can't go to the left. How tricky can this possibly get if everything has to be a box? Is my question. So we can have numbers outside of the prescribed rules. Precision 6. Just exercises in counting and colouring. Mismatch. All regions must be boxy. 3, 2, 4, 2. Oh, they have to be entirely different, not bordering different. Okay. 2, 3. Hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 1. And then this is open to us. All right, let's see how we do. All regions are rectangular, and we need rose windows. So it looks like this. Except no, it looks like this. I don't know why sometimes when I'm dragging, I expect it to drag the line and like make the box for me, but not how that works at all. Nice and simple. 1, 1. 4, 3, 3, 2. And a couple bonuses. Boxy precision 4. Very simple. Who's that hiding under there? Come back for you later. Boxy. Right, who's got the most limits? This tile has to be associated with at least you. You could come down deeper, but we don't know that yet. This tile could be with you. Now, who gets these tiles? Oh, that's very interesting. Just keep finding wrong ways to do that. Right, this tile. Cannot get anything from there or there. So it must pick up that. This can't be that, so this must pick up that. Which can't pick up these, which must get that. This must pick up this. This must pick up that. But then who gets these? I'm baffled. That does not get those. I'm reasonably confident about the... Oh, we could do that. Yeah, we could do that. That could be done, couldn't it? But then who gets these? Where is my logic falling down? That's about all I'm super, super happy with right now. This one must be you. That must be that. Who gets this one then, and who gets this one? I'm really not... Who gets that then? If you pick that up, who gets these? I'm so baffled. I'm missing some logic here, clearly. Who's picking up this? Well, there it is. This guy was just way bigger than I was even anticipating. All regions must be one of these shapes, but they have to be boxes. That's just a tease. All regions must be boxy. That means this is going to pick up those. Except no, it means that's going to pick up that, because if we do this, you can't get to a blue. So you're that. You could be this or this. This blue cannot take that, so it's probably taking that, which means that one's taking that. This blue could go to that red, but then we have two blues and reds on the sides, which means it's almost certainly taking that. This has to get to a red. And then it kind of just starts to fill itself in, doesn't it? Lovely. Goose is careening up the stairs. There he is. He's brought one of my running shoes. Thank you for that, Goose. I'm going to relieve you of that in a minute. He never used to take my shoes, and then one day I bought new slippers, and now he likes those slippers and all of the other shoes. Right, this is going to show us the designations for where boxes can and cannot start. So, for example, this must take up at least that much room. This isn't bad at all. But wait. How does this go? Who gets this one? What? What just happened? This must go to there and to there. Pick that up. That could come down further, couldn't it? It's the gap between kind of here and here that is most curious. There it is. Don't know where I miscalculated on the first time round, but we got there. Oh, I hate this. I hate this a lot. I don't know how this goes. Boxy, solitude. Each region must contain a single symbol. Okay, so it's going to start in regions roughly like this, but Quite how it's going to go, I'm unsure. You can't have another one next to you. Right, where does the logic come in? It is a difficulty 4 puzzle, so we have ramped it up a little bit. It's just trying to look at where rectangles can start and end without there being these shapes that would then kind of... It's like a series of big invisible borders, right? Can that go there? I don't think it can. Goose is clattering out the window. Hold on. He's got his bones stuck at the window. This guy falls apart here. Is there any other way to do this? This section here seems to be one of the biggest limitations for what we can do on this side between this guy and this guy. This can't be part of a corner, and that can't be part of a corner. So neither of these can be parts of corners. Therefore, this line or this line must exist. But then that leaves that on a corner. That can't go up higher. Where is the logic for me to start here with something definite? Because either this is true or this is true, but I can't tell which. This can't have a line underneath it, because then we end up with a weird space on that side. It could be here, or it could be there. Which means we're either making this, which we can't because of that. So therefore, I think this has to be part of this area. How far across it goes, I don't know. Well, it would have to be to at least there, because if we stopped earlier... No, yeah, we wouldn't have any piece in this group. It's these two in the top right corner that I just can't visualize on how to separate them without making problems for myself. Especially when this, and this are all kind of so otherwise interconnected. Looking better, but not quite. Because now we end up with these two on corners. We got there. Yeah, if there was logic to a lot of what was going on there, I might have been missing a lot of it. This has to come out to here. This has to come out to here. That has to come out to there. Huh? Oh no, they could make a box. Boxy, mismatch, palisades. Does that mean... Hold on. What can this belong to if it has to be boxy? It can't be that. There it is. Sometimes just asking the right question gets you where you need to be going. Boxy, solitude, area number. If it's boxy, then only that 4 can make that. 3, 6, 6. This 3 needs something more specific. This 6 can make a box that's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or the 2x2. But that solves it that way. 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4. That's a different region up there. 2. Boxy palisades. How am I going to make that a box? Is it just this? Yes. Cool. You're hiding under that rock. You must come out to here. Mismatch for different shapes. Do you have to be that? Oh, we're boxy. How do you have an edge if we're boxy? It would have to be this. That makes you boxy on 3, you boxy on 4, you boxy on 2, and you boxy on 1. Where's that one under the bridge there? There's a 3. It's a heart-shaped puzzle. Boxy area numbers. But not unique. So that could exist. It can't because we can't do that and that. But that could be a group of 4. That would be a valid group of 4. But it looks like... that. Nice and simple. How's our window doing? 19 of 20 to finish silver. Boxy mismatch area numbers. Right. If they have to be boxy and they have to have their area numbers, there's only 2 boxes that can contain a 6. Therefore, we can't have 3 6s. Therefore, either this is a 6 or this is a 6. Scratch that. There's 4 6s on the board. Therefore, it either has to be this and this, or this and this. 4. Okay, but how are we doing 4 and 4 in 2 boxes? It's going to have to be this and this. Therefore, that's the 6s. That's that. That's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 3. That's valid. That's valid, but that's another 2. That's the fastest way to resolve that, isn't it? Good counting. 12 more boxes. My name is Boxy. There's a real internet throwback. Boxy, Mingle. Neighboring regions must have different shapes. Well, this could be 411332. Yep, I'll do it. 433 545. Each region contains a single symbol. So, this could be the 6, or that could be the 6, but this must go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then either 6 or 6 up top of it. Each region contains a single symbol. So each region is boxy with a single symbol. That means that this 4 can't do anything that leaves an edge over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doesn't work. Because how do we get this into a single region? Now I'm confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How do we get you into a region? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's got to be that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm plotting stuff out in my head on vibes, which is probably not the best. This is 7 long, so this must contain that. So that's a 6. That's good logic. Good enough for me. That's only 5 long. Is this right? You can't be in a 6 long. Therefore, you have to be in a 3x2. There's a 4. There's a 6. There's a 6. There's a 4. There, we got it. It was right. A boxy 7 is just going to be that. How on earth... Okay, no. All the boxy 5s... Oh, okay, no. All the boxy odd numbers must be straight lines. That's what we know. It must be true. That's going to go either to there or there. I suspect this. I suspected wrong. Seven, 4 and 1 and 1 more. Makes that 5 there and that 5 there. Five, 5, 2, down, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. There you go. It's the other way to do that. 4, 4, 3, 4. Oh god, not you guys. You guys are my brain's equivalent of an Achilles heel. Should we try this 6? We don't do many 6s. Right, you must come out to there. And you must make a box. Right, every column has 1 and every row has 1. And therefore, something must be true. All of these, do they all have to make 2 wide groups? Is that something that appears to be true? No, because you can't do that. I was beginning to start to think of something that looked like this. But it breaks down pretty quickly on reflection. Is there anything I can deduce from them all having 1 in each column, 1 in each row? Don't know. Maybe over-reading into it. Or maybe it's a 6, maybe it's a very specific deduction we do need to start with. Like, let's say this comes down. That makes negative space there that must be consumed by that. But if everything just consumes the negative space up to a line, it leaves hollow spaces, which is no good to us. Apologies, I was dragged away on goose-related business. Well, I hadn't seen that corner being that corner yet. That's obvious, but kind of helpful. That's going to be at least this. Could be this, or any amount of that. But at least this. I feel like... No, this could be this and this. That would be valid. But we get to these, again, awkward, like, negative spaces where if this were that, and that were this, and that were that, and this was this, and this was this, we get to some version of that, and then there's this space left over. And I'm not sure what the trick is going to be to deciding where to leap off from here, short of looking at where kind of dividing lines can or cannot exist. Like, this could come out as far as here, but what's this going to be a part of a group of? I think this has to be part of that group. Because if this goes up, even if that comes down, this can't be that, because it has to be square, and this can't do this. So on that front, I think this has to come down and that way. So then that means that this tile has to be that coming out that way. Okay. We're onto something. Which means this has to come out down. And could be left or right. That has to go down towards the wall. So I think all of that is true. And now I'm just starting to like kind of try and look big picture. If that does that, that does that, that does that, that does that. Again, we get to awkward stuff here. This almost certainly isn't doing this. Just taking these cells. I guess it could be you. Just taking these cells. It can't be you. It can't be you. It can't be you. So you must go this way. That's not a bad way of looking forward. This cell is under competition from that or that. This cell can't be from anybody else. That means this has to go to that corner. That's a box. That means these can only be gotten from here. That's a box. That means these can only be gotten from there. That reaches up to there, that reaches out to here. But then this looks good. We got there. Cool. Half an hour. We've got 8 more to do to get that. 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3. Boxy, solitude, mingle. Neighboring regions must have different shapes. Right, this 6, they are solitude. This 6 cannot reach to there, cannot reach to there. So it's got to be that, because if it was this, nothing can get to there by being boxy. If that was 6, nothing could get to here with solitude. Therefore, this looks most probable. 4, 4... 4, 6, 6. That breaks down. I guess I should never use the word probable. That's where I really kick my own teeth in. Right, so you can't go to there. Can't go to there. Can't do that. That I'm happy with. Put a box around it. Where from there do we go? Something's got to take this tile. It could be this, this, or this. This 6 can't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't do that. It can't do this because of Mingle. So that must do that. Therefore, that must do that. That far is good. Okay. Since things are boxy, we can't do that and that because those 4 match together. We can't do that and that, so therefore this must be a box and this must be a straight line. It's just a case of if it's that straight line or this straight line. This could either be this, or this, or probably not that, maybe this. Though, if it was that, this would be 6, That would be 6, and this would be left out alone. If this is a 4, and this is a 4, they can't exist as parallel lines together. They can't exist like that together. This could be this. But then this 6 gets trapped into a region it can't exist in. Therefore... how can we do that top half? That can't be 6 there. It can't be 6 there, so it has to be a 6x6 or 2x3 region. This can't go there, and it can't do that. So this must be a 6 long, which means that must be a thing by thing, which means that has to be 4 there. Where do you go? None of this continues to make sense to me after this. This I was happy with. And I think either that or that. It's only a difficulty 3, so I shouldn't have to be overcomplicating it. The logic should be reasonably approachable, right? This can't do 6 or 6, therefore this is part of a 3x2. That can do 6 there, but it would block that in. This can't do 6 there. If it does that, this can't do that. If it does that, that can't do that. Therefore, that has to be 6 straight. Oh, that has to be 6 straight. That has to be a 2x2. This 4 then can't be straight here because the space behind it is left empty. So that's a 2x2. Reasonably happy with a lot of that. Can we meld this now with the stuff that we were happy with before? This can't be 6 there. Can't be 6 there. Can't exist there because of this gap. You are there. Get a box around you. That's only 5. Therefore, you need a group. And you get that. So, now we have a bit more perimeter that I'm certain of. This is a 6 that cannot touch this or this. How can we do that? We can't. So something here is wrong. Again, it's only a difficulty 3 puzzle. If this is 4, nothing can get behind it. If this is 4, nothing can get behind it. You're a box. Put a box around it. Now, could that exist like that instead? So close. No, that's not it either. Is this what I just did? I'm so lost again. Let's look at these 4 6s. How can they all have... If you were like that, you're touching 2 6s. A 6 can either be a 6x2 or a 6x1, a 3x2 or a 6x1. Therefore, we can't have this region touching 2 6s. Therefore, the only way this region touches 1 6 is to do that. Which leaves this touching one region of 6. And it can't do this because that then would have to be 6 long or 6 long. So that comes out to here. That leaves that as 6 long. That is a group of 6. That is a group of 4. That is 4. That is 4. That is 6. That is 4. That can't be 6 next to that. No, I don't see it. I'm lost. I'm baffled. That's where we just were. 5, 4, 5. How many more? 8 more still. Boxy. If you have to have a dead end in you, then you have to be a domino. All regions must have different shapes. All regions must have different shapes. And yet, south of this line, this is symmetrical. So how do I get these two to have different shapes? Okay, they don't have to be in unique regions, so that's probably what that shape looks like. That's a 1, that's a 2x2, that's a 3x2. That's a 5x1, that's a 4x1, that's a 3x1, that's a 2. Cool, we're making progress again. Anyone hiding? Back to these. Right, okay. Boxy, delta. If you're a 2, you're a 2, you're a 2, you're a 2, you're a 1. This can't be a 3 because that can't be a 3. Therefore, that's a 1. That could do that. That could do that. Then we could do 2, 2, 1, 1. That wasn't so bad. Are you going to be... Yeah, you're another big one of those. Boxy, Mingle, polyominoes. 1, 1, 1. Box, box, box. 1 box, 1 box. Beatbox. Mingle shape. Neighboring regions must have different shapes, polyominoes. But, okay, so you have to be a 3 out to there. You have to be a 3 out to there. We can have as many 1s as we want, except we can't have 1s that touch. So that's got to be a 4, a 3, and a 2. Make sure this 1 isn't left with a 1 or a 2 next to it. That 3 must come down. That 2 comes down, leaving this 2x2. That's a 1, a 2, and a 3. This 4 has to go that way, which leaves that 3. That has to be a 2. That could be a 4 and a 1. Sorry, that could be... That 1 must be a 2. Could that be a 4 and a 2? Or a 3 and a 1? No, it can't be a 3 and a 1, because that 3 overlaps it. Cool. We've got a lot of space here in the center. Nice. Boxy, mingle, area numbers. Neighboring regions must have different shapes, but they all have to be boxes. How are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? It's a 1x4 or a 2x2. And we're mingling. Nice. That was pretty smooth. 5, 4, 5, 4. 4 more left. I don't want to even look at you. Boxy mismatch. It feels like it shouldn't be so bad. All regions must have different shapes. Okay. Then this must be the 1. 2, 3. We can't do that. Because we can't do this, because then we end up with a 2 and a 2. So does that have to be the 1? Is there any other way this could go? That could be a 2, a 4, but then this would have to be another 2, which we can't do. It can't be a 4 with a 6 and a 1. Four, 2, 1, 3, 6. There you go. Three more. Boxy, solitude, area number. Right, you cannot make this. So you're either going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this much is at least true. This can't reach to there, so you pick up that. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then those have to do that to get up to that corner, I believe. 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3. Like, difficulty 4 makes no sense. But maybe it's just the way my brain is wired, is all. We did that one? Yes, we did. Right. Like this for difficulty 3 just kept my brain going. I can't see my step inwards. 5 and 5. Boxy, solitude, single symbol. So the 10s are going to have to be 5x2s. That's the only way to factorize 10. And this is the 5 and a 5 and a 3 and a 5, which must all be straight lines. If this were 5 that way, that would have to be 4 that way, that would have to be 4 that way, that would have to be 5 that way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then can't get to 3 over there. So this 5 must go horizontal, either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's this and some amount of what's under it. This has to pick up at least that. Could pick up this as well. Except this 10 can't pick up that, so that 5 is going to pick up that. This 4 is going to pick up that. Then 4 can't do that, because how does this 10 make a region? If it's this, we leave this space unavailable to us. Maybe I'm wrong. This 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, means that this 10 can't ever make a suitable region. So this 5 must be that. That 4 then traps that 5 in, but that 5 could do that, except this 10 can't exist. So that's a 4. And this 5 exists at least somewhere along here. I think I like this as a solution for this 10. How far along it goes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leaves this 10 unresolved. But that 5 can't go up. Yeah, there's no other way to resolve this 10 in a 2x5 that way. I keep thinking I'm on solid logic and then not being. Just going to rehydrate. Right, let's start that again. This 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 10 now cannot make a box that fits a 10. Therefore, this 5 must be horizontal. This 10 could go that way. Could go even higher. Could go horizontal. This 5 could go that way. But that leaves that tile unaccounted for. Therefore, this 5 must go horizontally. And therefore, that 4 must go horizontally, because if the 4 goes upwards, it traps the 5 in. This bit of harp playing always reminds me of Skyrim. It's been a long time since I played Skyrim. That 5 can't go up, so it must be horizontal, either 5 or 5. This could go up. This could go across, but then that leaves this tile unclaimed. Therefore, this can't go across. It might go up. Or it might be a 2x2. How does this 6 get out? Great question. 1. Can't go up. Can't go down. If it goes horizontally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this 10 gets blocked in. Therefore, that 6, I believe, must be that. If then that's a 4, that has to be the 5. This, though, gets left out again. Could it be this? Where do you go? I keep thinking I'm on such good bits of logic that fall down so quickly. So, from the top, this could exist. This could exist. That would have to be the 4. That would have to be the 4. That would have to be the 5. That would have to be the 6. This gets left over as a 1. Therefore, this 5 cannot go horizontally. If this 6 did this, and that 4 did that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 10 then gets stuck without resolution. Let's just think about these tiles for a second. They're going to have to be consumed by the 10s. And therefore, are the 10s going to have to exist as some kind of pinwheel? Which will either be this or the inverted version of this. Well, this can't exist because this 6 can't consume that space. So, make that 10 do that, that 10 do that, that 10 do that, and that 10 do that. Now, that 4, that 6, that 3, that 4, that 4, that 6, that 4, that 6, that 4, that 4, that 5, that 5, that 4, that 4, that 4, that 5. Evidently, that was where we should have been starting the puzzle. Five, 3, 4. This is the one I was struggling with. This is one that my brain doesn't even want to look at. Is there no big kind of finale puzzle? I guess this one's on like a bigger plinth. But normally it would be a 6 or a 7. Right, well, we will see if we can do this one. Gosh. What a pretty little swan, or a duck or something. All regions must have different shapes. 1, 3, 2, 4, 4, 5, and then what? Well, this can't be too wide, so it has to be at least a 4, but it has to be at least a 6. That has to be the 6, so that has to be an 8. We have a 1, a 2, a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 at a minimum. This has to be then a 3 by 3. I keep saying it, but how is that a 5? It has such elegant, simple tracking through the puzzle. I don't understand how the difficulties are defined in this game, which makes it really tough to like know where to think of how long it's going to take to commit time to doing a group of puzzles when I can't do a 3 in 15 minutes, but I can do a 5 in 15 seconds. It baffles. But we have finished Boxy. Should we look at this just for a minute, just to see if I can actually do it? Boxy, number area, Geminis and Deltas. This 6 cannot do that, cannot do that. Therefore, it must either be this or this. Now, it can't be this because that would consume that 1. Therefore, this 6 must be that. Put a box around it. 1, put a box around it. 1, put a box around it. 1, put a box around it. This 6 must match that 6, must match that 6. This can't be an angle, but can't be a 1, so it must be a 2. Put a box around that 1. This 4 can't do this. Could it do that? No, I think it has to go 4, 4, 4. 2, 1. Then we just have this remainder to do. This cannot be a 6 by 6. This is a 2. This is a 4, this is a 2, this is a 2. Nope. This is a 2. This is a 1. Nope. The only way this can make a 4 is that. 2, 1. 1, 2. That's cheeky. But that wasn't bad at all. Is it just... You're not. Yeah, you're a different zone. Is it just this guy left? Oh, wait. I missed you. Hiding under there. How did I miss you? 1. Boxy mismatch. So. All regions must have different shapes. There must be boxes. Therefore, one of these 6s is a long, and one of these 6s is stubby. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't do another 2 there. Can't do a 2x6 there. That can't be a 6 if the 4 is long. That's no good. This is a 6. Okay. We have to have a long 6 and a stubby 6. If this is the long 6, these can't fit behind here. If this is the long 6, these can fit behind here. But it can't do so in a way that means we can divide up the area above this 6 into unique regions. If this is that becomes a 2 and a 3. How do we make more unique shapes? With a big tenor. If I missed that, I could have missed others. I saw you. All right. We're just over an hour. Let's get this one. Boxy. Every region has a single symbol. Neighboring regions must have different shapes. They show their numbers. This 6 cannot go horizontal, cannot go vertical. Therefore, it must be part of this, or this, or this. Which means that one is at least definitely part of it. But neighboring regions must have different shapes. That could be 6 wide. That can be 6 long. That can be 4 and 4 and 6. 4 and 6 and 6 and 6. 4 and 6 and 6 and 4 and 4. That was fine. Boxy plus 3. I think that is every boxy puzzle. I'm not seeing any shards of light out of anywhere else. So that was a nice route to take. So now our remaining open mechanics are either non-boxy, or back over here we have size separation. Non-boxy seems to be the one that will be more attuned to my brain, but we'll find out next time. For now, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.